Hey my beauties, welcome back to my channel. So today, as you guys can see by the look of the title, we are going to be doing a first impression. And today we are doing it on the LA Colors Truly Matte Foundation. This is supposed to be a long wearing, high pigmented foundation. I'm using the color Natural and I haven't opened the bottle because as always, I'm gonna wait to review it for you guys, test it out for the first time with you guys and see how it's gonna last throughout the whole entire day. So I will be doing an 8-hour check-in, and yeah, we're just gonna basically see how this foundation works, how it really like looks on the skin and everything. So we're gonna go through all of that. So if you guys are new to my channel, welcome. I'm Jasmine, and if you guys are not part of the Birdie family, what are you waiting for? Don't forget to subscribe, that way you guys can join this Birdie family, and also don't forget to hit the ring bell notification, that way every time I upload new videos, you guys can all be notified. Without further ado, my loves, if you guys want to know how this first impression goes with this foundation, then just keep on watching. So before jumping into testing it out, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about this foundation. So this foundation on their website, it retails for $6. Now that is super affordable for a drugstore foundation. So I think it makes it like either close to the Wet n Wild one, because I believe the Wet n Wild is like 5 something. Not too sure, but this one is $6. They carry 14 shades, which is a good range of colors, I could say. And like I said, I'm using mine in the shade Natural, which I'm hoping it is my shade. They say on their site that this is a long-wearing, high-pigmented formula foundation that applies as a liquid, and then it's gonna dry into like a powder-like matte finish. So maybe you might not even have to set your foundation. We'll see about that, but that's what it claims to do, and a lot of people have so far reviewed it really nice on their actual website. It has 4.6 stars, so that says a lot about this foundation. So I'm hoping that it really does claim to do all of the great things that everybody is hyping it for, and I don't know, I really do have high hopes for this. The way to apply it, it doesn't really tell you, like, it just says that it, you know, it obviously will come out as a liquid foundation and you could just blend it into your skin. But I'm gonna try out a brush just because it is a matte foundation, and see how good of a pigmentation we can get from this foundation, and if it'll cover like my freckles. You guys know what the rule with me, if it covers with the freckles, it really does stand true to being a high coverage foundation, super pigmented, right? So we're gonna test that out. I am going to be using a primer because we're gonna be fair with the foundation. I always wear primers with all of my foundations. There's not a foundation that I will not wear a primer with. It's just a must. So to be fair with it, I will be using a primer, and I'm going to be using this LA Girl Pro Prep High Definition Smoothing Face Primer. This is their sister brand. So I just thought it would be, you know, it would make sense to use a primer that is already made in the same factory, you could say. So I'm going to be using this as my face primer, and it is also one of my favorite primers from the drugstore. We're going to use this. So I'm going to take my primer, I'm going to apply it. Just about that size. So we have our primer on now to test this out. Okay, so that's how the foundation looks. It looks really thick, you guys, like super thick. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this kabuki brush from Sigma, and I'm just gonna apply it to my left side so we can compare if it looks natural also or what, you know. So okay, here we go. Wow. Okay, so the color, yeah, I would say it kind of matches, right? I think it will. I think I could make it work. Okay, I have a lot of redness here, like around my nose, so let's see. All right, so there we have the first layer, you could say, and this is the before, and then here's the after. What I did notice is that it did sort of cover up my freckles. I can kind of see them barely like peeking through, but I did notice that it didn't take away this redness from here. I usually get red here, so this is really definitely peeking through, and I can't really seem to cover it. So obviously that could be corrected with my concealer, but I don't think it's like that high of coverage, you know? But so far, I can definitely tell that this did set already. Like, I can definitely even feel it like not super drying, but like kind of like when you already put your powder on and you already feel like your foundation is already set. So definitely did dry down to like a powder like finish. I don't even want to put powder on because I feel like I'm gonna get super dry since I do have right now like kind of the dry skin going on. Yeah, I kind of don't want to really set it, maybe just like very loosely, but I definitely feel like this already set. So here's what this side looks like, and here's the no side with foundation. I'm gonna do another layer, just a very thin layer, so we can see if we can cover up this redness right here. But other than that, I mean, this foundation did really impress me. Like for it to like dry down to like what feels like already, like I already have powder. I mean, that's really good, you know, because you can just skip the whole powder, skip the whole aging process, right? But so far right now, I am impressed. Just for $6, this is really good, you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of my other face, and then I will do the second layer very thin, and see how that goes. So this one where I have my two most pigmented freckles on this side, I can definitely tell that they are right there peeking through. I don't know if you guys can tell, but they're right there. So I don't think this is like super high coverage like, you know, the other people are hyping it up to be. I mean, it is a great foundation, but I don't think it's like that super pigmented because I can definitely still see my freckles, and there's other foundations that I have tried that definitely cover this up, you know? So I'm gonna do the second thin layer now and see how that works. There we go. So adding a second layer is adding a little bit of more coverage. Ooh, yeah, that definitely covered it up. Okay, so there we have it. That's the second layer, and I definitely do not feel my skin heavy or whatsoever, like very cakey. Like that's not at all the case. It actually doesn't feel like I added a second layer, so that's really great because you can definitely build this coverage up. But it definitely did a lot better covering up my freckles, and then also like the redness that was happening right here. I can kind of just see a little bit of it, just like, you know, the little two freckles that are my most pigmented there, but nothing too crazy that I can be like, oh my god, like what am I gonna do? I need to cover this. Like, no. So it definitely does look great, but I am scared to set this, guys. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, I feel like if I set it, it's gonna really like show where my dry patches are right now, and I don't want that. So I'm gonna try it first on one side very lightly to see how it actually sets. But yeah, I'm kind of scared. I'm just gonna do my concealer really quickly, and I'm gonna use my Tarte Shape Tape. So to set, I'm gonna take my Too Faced Born This Way powder. This isn't the peach one where it's gonna make your face super matte. This is just a nice normal setting powder. So I'm gonna use this one to set my face. So I'm just gonna set the left side first and see how this goes. So now that I set this left side, I can definitely tell that the face looks completely matte, like not any type of shine whatsoever. So this makes my face look like completely flat. I need a little bit of dimension in here, so I'm gonna definitely like add a little bronzer and contour, but the face looks completely matte. What I did notice is that only on my forehead is where I can see a little bit of the dry patches, but everywhere else, maybe around here, around my mouth, I can see it a little bit too, but it's not like super crazy. Maybe just adding a very thin layer of powder will do, but do not definitely bake with this. Do not do anything exaggerating like cake on the powder, like no, because this is gonna look like a disaster if you do that. But I can definitely tell that with just a little bit of powder, it will do. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of this side, setting it, and then we'll be back. Oh my god, I have never seen a super mattifying foundation from the drugstore like this one. Like, this is insane, you guys. But for right now, for me personally, I don't really like the whole matte situation, just because, like I said, like I'm already like super dry right now. I need a little bit of hydration in my skin right now more than anything. So I think I would definitely use this foundation for the summertime, for sure, without a doubt, because this is the type of foundation that I need in the summertime when I'm like my oiliest. But if you are super, super oily, you are definitely gonna love this foundation. Like this, girl, like this is super mattifying. Once you add the powder, oh my God, you're set. I don't think I'm gonna be even oily throughout this whole entire day right now. I'm just gonna let you know that, because the way that this foundation feels, it, like I said, it doesn't feel super dry, but you definitely feel like you're set. Like, I don't know, that's kind of hard to explain to you guys, but you can tell like I don't have any shine. Like, this is so crazy, guys. So definitely does stand up to, you know, a truly matte foundation name. And then we're gonna see how long it wears, if it doesn't move or anything like that. But I definitely don't see myself like getting oily throughout the day. The high pigmentation, I do say that it is like a medium, you know, pigmented type of foundation, because it wasn't like super high. Like you guys saw, I did need to add a second layer. But overall for $6, guys, this is really great, you guys. Like, I think this is truly a foundation that does deserve the hype for it, because of the fact that, you know, like it does do its job. Even just adding the second layer, you're not gonna feel cakey, so it's okay. And you're not using a lot, because with just one pump, you know, I was able to cover pretty much most of it, and then I just added just a little tiny bit more. So it's not like you're wasting so much foundation just to get the coverage that you want. So I think it's okay. But yeah, overall, this is what the foundation looks like, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and set the rest of my face with my other powders and like my bronzer, my highlighter, my blush, all that jazz. So I'll be back with you guys once I'm done with that. All right, so I'm back and I have all my makeup on now. So we are going to be doing the 8-hour check-in. Right now, it is 11:32. So I'm gonna be doing an 8-hour check-in and see how the foundation holds up. If it doesn't move, whatever happens, if anything happens in between the 8 hours, I will definitely like vlog for you guys and let you guys know what happened. But I doubt it, just because this foundation is already like locked, you know. But we'll see how this actually turns out. But overall right now, I do have to say I do so far like it, but not for at the moment. Like maybe in the summertime, once I start getting more oily, producing more oils, I might just fall in love with this foundation. But for right now, it's just like, it is good, but not for me right now. Before we do the 8 hours, I am going to set it with this Fix Plus. I always use Fix Plus or any type of other setting spray before I leave the house. So I'm gonna do that for you guys, and then I'll do the 8-hour check-in. All right, so now that I finished setting my foundation, we'll check back in 8 hours. So it's been 8 hours now, and it is right now 7:37, so it's a little bit, just by a few minutes past over the 8 hours. And here we are, my loves. This is how the foundation looks like. What do you guys think? Be honest. The way that I see it is that I definitely did get a little bit oily. As you guys can see, it's not as completely matte as how we started with the foundation, but I was running around, I was doing shopping. It was extremely hot where I was shopping, so I definitely saw a little bit of, you know, breaking a little oil through. Overall, this is how the foundation looks. Everywhere else, like I said, I was not gonna get oily or anything. Like, this looks completely matte still in these areas except my T-zone, so let's not focus there. But everything else looks completely matte. I didn't really like add a lot of powder, so I feel like this is why this happened right here in the T-zone. But other than that, everything else stayed exactly the same. I had applied it. This foundation did not move whatsoever, which is really amazing. So overall, the T-zone is not a huge problem to me. This could easily be fixed. I can grab a little bit of blotting paper and then set my T-zone again with a little bit of powder. And so that is the way that I can fix this. Everything else, I mean, if it had moved or anything like that, I mean, that would be more of a disaster. But overall, the foundation looks great. I think it looks normal for what it like looks like. Like I said, I didn't really set it that much, so I feel like this is the reason why it came out like this. But if you do have really oily skin, then you're gonna love this because you will set it really good with a setting powder. But if you have dry skin, I feel like this is the type of situation you're okay with, because of, let's get real, you don't want your face looking super dry to the point that you can see the dry patches or anything like that. And then this, at the end of the day, it can be fixed. So in my opinion, I really like this foundation. I think it is worth a try. $6. I mean, come on, that's really affordable in my opinion. So I think this is a great foundation for that price, and then for what it does, and the fact that it didn't move, and it looks great still. And like I said, I am a little bit oily here in my nose area and a little bit on the forehead, but it's not too much of a big deal for me, so I think it's a great foundation. So with that, we are finished with this first impression. I really hope that you guys liked it. Don't forget to give me your guys a thumbs up if you guys really enjoyed the first impression. If you guys would like to see more like this, let me know in the comment section right now then what other products you guys would like for me to test out. If it's from the drugstore, high-end, whatever it is that you guys want me to first try out, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to do that for you guys. But yeah, with that, if you guys are still new to my channel, or you're just haven't subscribed for whatever reason, if you guys believe that we can and we will make a difference, then don't forget to join the family by subscribing, and also hit the rainbow notification. That way every time I upload new videos, you guys will not miss a video. So yeah, with that, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye. Ay, güey. Ay, did really poke my eye. Y bueno, mis amores, ya regresamos de las... Now, desean so aquí ya tenemos todo el... I'm losing my train of thought.
Cómo me duele, cómo me duele, cómo me duele. No, vela, no, vela.
Cómo me duele, cómo me duele, cómo me duele que me saquen la vela. Do I look like a respawn now?
Yeah.
Yay!
Pues de media hora, güey.
I don't know.